Sometimes we might look as if we've got it all under control, but our minds, they're somewhere else completely. Other times we can hide the truth of a situation to make people see what we want them to see.
You know, there's certain things when it comes down to video games and the way things are perceived that you just sit there and you take a step back and go, is this really what the audience wants? Apparently, bare sex is what sells a video game nowadays. This is what you all signed up for, so I wouldn't be surprised when you hear that Baldur's Gate 3 is a very adult version of a video game. Apparently, it's come down the pipe that a lot of the people that are involved with Baldur's Gate 3 played on soap operas in the UK, one named Hollyoaks, where the little clip was from. Apparently some of them are intimacy coordinators. Seriously, I have no qualms or beefs if you want to play a video game that has romance like this in it. I just find it very strange that it comes in the form of Baldur's Gate, a game where, you know, was originally birthed with the top-down view of a sword and sorcery level up system, and the romance wasn't really the key function of the game. The key function of the game was go around, kick ass, chew some bubblegum, and actually defeat the game, good or evil, however you might get through the last of the levels, but not like this. This is not what I expected when I heard Baldur's Gate 3 was coming out on PC, was reaching close to coming out of early access. This game's been out in early access since 2020, so this is where I guess the pandemic goes when they make a video game. A lot of it has been made during those times where we're locked down in our homes, not able to get out and about, so you make a romanceable game, more like a dating sim with 17,000 different endings apparently to the game, all just flipping the script on its head. So, Baldur's Gate 3 Romance Guide, all romanceable companions, characters, and their locations explained. You go look this up on Eurogamer. I'm not going to go through the whole detail. They've done the legwork here. But there is 7 characters that are romanceable, meaning you can get right down and dirty with 7 different characters in the game. Is this where modern gaming is really going now, where you have to come out of the closet as a bear with your vampire elf companion and actually get it on in the middle of the woods under the twilight of darkness? Like, this is not something I ever thought I would be talking about when it came to video games, and let alone a Dungeons and Dragons title. This is not where I honestly thought the genre was going, that indicative of what looks like to be a soap opera. A few of the actors and actresses that actually worked on the game worked on a soap opera in the UK called Hollyoaks or something like that. I've never heard of this. This is a UK thing. I don't watch soaps. I'm not one that sits there in the middle of the afternoon with nothing else to do but to watch this drool of TV. Although I gotta say, I did watch the trailer as part of making this video, and it looked like a entertainment in itself for a romance dramatization of the modern day, or the airwaves of TV that just isn't around there anymore. The new medium is to play video games. That's the mediums that people are choosing over watching TV. And I gotta say, it's an interesting concept to go, and why maybe this game now has a 18 plus rating when it comes to the UK, especially with the themes of bestiality with the druid sex that is out there. And there's a lot of people that say, oh, he's a druid in the form. No, this is like two furries going into a furry convention and doing their thing beyond the public eye. There are people that get off on these things, and I hate to say this, but this is the type of thing that isn't meant for normal stuff. I just don't find it very appealing to me. In a lot of cases, this type of depictions would be illegal, but because it is, it's not real, they get away with it. But if this was done in a real world setting, they would be deemed illegal and prosecuted. So where is the line? And this line is ultimately being crossed in this matter. And that's why there's a lot of talk about it, a lot of hype with the game, and a lot of things going on with it. But when it came down to Baldur's Gate 3, even Kotaku talks about it, how they hired intimacy coordinators to help with the sex scenes. So you're telling me this is a RPG. RPGs don't necessarily need sex. You do not need sex to sell a game. You do not need sex to sit there and actually play the game. That's not the reality that I want to do. If I want to have these types of scenes, I'm going to go take my wife elsewhere, right? That's not something I'm going to sit there and try and play a video game for. If you're replacing a video game for this type of romance, then I think you need to get out and around a little bit more. You need to get out of your shell and away from the video games, because the addiction is real, and I think this is just going to lead to a cause and effect that is not good for a lot of people. I think there might be some not good mental health out of this situation, and will lead people to a wrong sense of what they get in a true romantic relationship. I think that is why this is inherently bad, and why it's not going to be good for a lot of people to sit there and do these types of things. Now, put all of that aside, take that out of the game. What do you have here? You still have a game that's probably quite well made. You have a character system where you can make your character, although they focus more on enlarging your junk than making your face in the character creation side of things. So looking at this more like Loran, what, you know what, whatever you guys call yourselves, I don't even care at this point, because you're just another game dev that's putting things into a video game that I don't think is something necessarily that people want. Although apparently the sales went through the roof on this game, so apparently people want this. But of course, the old saying goes, sex sells. They explain why there is no face sliders in Baldur's Gate 3. Like many other games in the genre, Baldur's Gate 3 allows you to customize your character. However, its character creation is far from being the most extensive. Surprisingly, there is no face sliders, a very common feature nowadays, and you are stuck with applying presets for your heroes' features. And just to add the quote in there, you can choose between a penis or a vagina, as well as pubic hair options. Though given the dragonborn reptilian nature, theirs will look slightly different. You know, a lot of people sit there and they want to play these games and they want that experience to put themselves or make something and go through the game. But instead, it just seems that they did a fully customizable genital, but not a customizable face. Where was the priority with this game? You got to ask yourself these things. Where was really the priority with this game? To me, the game honestly looks like a dating sim at this point. And now that I know that there was soap operas, actors and actresses in the game, it really does feel that genre of that afternoon, that mid-afternoon where you have nothing, the kids are in school, you have nothing else to watch on TV but to watch the drool known as a soap opera. You know, I accept that everyone has different tastes, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with sitting down in the afternoon, watching a soap opera, getting your rocks off, watching these things, watching this absolute mind-rotting of TV. But when it comes to a video game and you want to play through a video game, and they're expressing that there's 17,000 different endings and thousands and thousands of lines of dialogue, I can't help but to wonder if this game is nothing more but a point and click dialogue watch fest. If you're going to sit there and just every 2 seconds you're going to be watching a cutscene or listening to dialogue or making a choice on which way your character is going to go, if he's going to go left, right, down, or up, like which way are we going in this game? And it's going to, they're making it a choices matter in this circumstance, but ultimately are you going to have fun getting through this game? Now, the game, it did shoot up on the Steam charts. Sex sells. I think that's part of it. Did the bare sex sells? I don't know. I just find it absolutely disturbing to know that this is in the game, and it's not something that I'm going to be playing anytime soon. Anyway, I'm your Proud Canadian Phoenix, Sinner Shadow, signing off here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, I understand if I ruffled some feathers, you can get over it. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day.